In a road rage incident, often your vehicle is your very best defensive tool. The Mantis X firearms training system attaches to any gun with a rail and to your phone via Bluetooth to track barrel movement every shot you take. Use it to help you be the most accurate, fastest shot you possibly can in a defensive encounter. I use it in my training all the time. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of the United States, Philadelphia to be precise. Here we're going to see a road rage incident that escalates incredibly rapidly and it's pretty scary. So let's see what happens and then we'll come back and learn some lessons. If you go read the news story, I've linked it in the description. Police are still looking for the suspect and the victims here as the victim's car pulls into this parking lot and it's a dead end. And now the perp in the red truck pulls up behind him, and if you go read the news story again, bystander says he jumped out of the truck and said, "You've cheated with my girlfriend." And so he hits a sledgehammer into the guy's window and now he's beating up his door. Dude finally decides to get out of there, but that piles his buddy out of the car. His buddy had opened the door and then that got him out of the car, and you could see it hurt him pretty good. Now our perp in the green shirt there is gonna think about getting back in the truck, but now he's back after it, and the hurt buddy there is gonna be the brunt of the anger as he takes a whack with the sledgehammer, and now our victim kind of gets out a little bit. They're going to take one more damage to the car. Both of the victims now are going to get back in the car, finally figure out what the heck is going on here, but decide they want to get the heck out of there instead of have more confrontations with a madman. Now I've sped it up for the sake of time. He is going to get out of there as well, and this one is going to end right here. What a scary, scary event. Wow, that was really scary and really fast. What do you think? If you were armed, would you have used your firearm or used your car to end the threat? We've put a poll in this one, so make sure you hit that poll. Let us know what you think. I want to talk about some significant lessons here about why road rage is stupid and thinking about staying out of road rage kind of incidents. Number two, about using your car to get out of the danger zone quickly. And number three, when your firearm might be the best tool to defend yourself and those you love. So you're thinking about this, if you have to escape someone who is angry at you and chasing you in a car, one of the big things you got to do is make sure that you don't get hemmed in. This guy turns into this parking lot. I'm sure he's just going maybe where he doesn't know where he's going in the advance. But what you see here is he is stuck in a spot now where he doesn't have any answers. And when you get stuck in a cul-de-sac like this, yes, the car is a great resource for you when it's mobile, but the second a car is not mobile, it becomes a coffin instead of a tool. So listen, if you got to get out of somewhere with your car, you got to make it the highest priority to keep that car mobile so that you can continue to escape the danger zone, because that danger zone is coming behind you very quickly. Now, as our bad guy shows up, we see here that our good guy is trying to get out of the way, but he doesn't really have any room because now he's boxed in. Now let's think about tools at this point. This guy jumps out and he has a sledgehammer in his hand. Is this an objective, reasonable, deadly threat? The answer to that is obviously yes. The guy has an implement capable of inflicting deadly force, and he is coming hard. He has ability, opportunity, and intent to do you deadly harm through the car, because a car window is not expected to survive even more than one hits with a sledgehammer, and most of them won't even have one. So is this an objective, reasonable, deadly threat? Yes, it is. What's the best solution to that? Is it to use the car? Well, if you can, great, but if you can't, this would be a chance that you could use your firearm for sure if you were stuck in this kind of a spot. Now you notice here that first hit with the sledgehammer, thankfully the window did dissipated the force of that. Of course, as the person on the inside, you're going to take a whole bunch of glass and all that, and clearly here you are at risk of deadly threat. That said, this is why I tell you to stay in the car. This is why I tell you to keep the doors locked, because at least that first hit, the driver didn't take himself. The car took for him. Use the car for what it's worth. Now, clearly at this point, you could have used a firearm to defend yourself. Easy peasy. However, this guy is coming at you with multiple strikes. That second strike could have ended his life if the guy had really wanted to, but instead he's beating the crap out of the car. Sounds like because he was angry, but using your car to get out of there is a great idea. But again, if you had a firearm, you kept your tools on you. This is why I tell you to keep your tools on you and to know how to use them while seated in your car, because you might very well need to end this threat that quick. Now, next I want to talk about communication with your buddy, because the driver decided he was going to get out of there by using the accelerator, but his buddy had decided just a second before to bail out of the car. To do what? I'm not sure. But you got to communicate together so you know what you're doing. If it's time to bail out of the car, bail out of the car together. If it's time to move, don't let your buddy throw a door open and throw his seatbelt off and get himself put in this kind of a condition. Communicate with each other what you're going to do. Now, our driver's gotten himself the heck out of the danger zone. And of course, if he doesn't care about his buddy, he just takes off. But think about this from the guy in the blue shirt's perspective at the bottom of the screen. The guy in the green shirt has shown ability, opportunity, intent to do deadly harm. And now what are you going to do? If you don't have a firearm on you, you better have some significant empty-handed skills, especially because he's diminished. You notice here he's limping, he's hurt, he's probably busted his ankle up a little bit or twisted something. He's in a lot of pain. He's hurt his hip falling out of the car, but now he's got to think about he doesn't have time to mess around with those things. So understanding emotional fitness, and that emotional fitness is the ability to internally represent something such that you are powerful enough and capable enough to deal with it, is incredibly important. Dealing with pain, dealing with even injury is something you learn on the mat, something that you learn in your empty-handed skills training, which is why I recommend it so much. So that in that moment you go, I don't care if I'm hurt, I see this guy coming, I got to be able to do the things that stop him from hitting me with a sledgehammer like this. Thankfully, he hit him in the back instead of in the head. That could have easily been fatal. And then they have the opportunity here. Clearly, that guy was able to kind of shuffle along and jog a little bit, because then they are going to get themselves into the car. Now, I don't know why the driver there decides to open his driver's door for a minute. That was stupid. And now finally, we want to think about the total stupidity of road rage, friends. Yes, I think that this might have been somewhat domestic related or related to a romantic relationship or something like that. So this is why I tell you, live a good life, friends. Don't get yourself in a kind of position where you can get somebody this kind of angry at you for getting in their way of their romantic relationships because of what that might do to you. And instead, live a good, helpful, moral life so that these kind of things don't happen, and stay away from dummies like this. That's a great way to cover your asp.